Welcome to ZOOMERTIMES TV. And here's your host, Anita Finley.
Hello, everybody. Well, it looks like, when you get the Volen Center back in full swing, you know that things are really picking up. I want to show you the Volen Center. You've probably seen this ad in Boomer Times for many years, and it's exactly what happened. See those people? They're having fun. Now they're back, and they're back where they belong, and we're so happy to have Kim Lovito, she's a very high position. Of course, her title is something that I think she does a lot more, but she's the director of the adult daycare center at the Volen Center, but she makes sure that everything else works. So hello, Kim. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Wow, you look good. You always have this great hairstyle. I've tried to go to my hairdresser and say, that's what I want it to look like, but she never makes it quite. So Kim, tell us about the Volen Center, where we were and where we are now.
So a year ago, we were where we all were, and we were shut down. We were trying to get, and now we were back up and running. All of our daycares are open. Our active senior center is open. All except one is open. City there, just my understanding is it might be understaffed because I think because so many people were isolated for so long, they forgot what it was to be able to be social and how important it is to be out and social. So we really are flourishing.
Are the buses that I think you told me before, they kept going though, because they were delivering meals, they were doing things, right?
Correct. The buses never stopped. We always did meal deliveries. We always did, if there was like emergency medical visits or things like that, we always did those. But meals have never stopped. We've always done the COVID meals, which would be either us packing up food and sent our regular congregate meal food, or getting our COVID meals, which is restaurant quality meals, 7 days of food packed up and delivered twice a week to the doorstep. And then now, not only are our buses and transportation delivering people from home to here to home, to Walmart, to Target, to Publix, to doctor's offices, to pharmacies, we're still doing meals. So it's super busy. Yeah, and they're doing field trips and lunch bunch.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
I'm going to hold this up again. It's cute. It says, don't tell the kids, right? They think that people don't have fun, but they do. If you go to the Volen Center, it's crowded now, and that's what we're so excited about. But something I said to Kim just before we started, so are the people now, are they afraid to come? Obviously not. Are they masked? What do they do when they come?
So the majority, I would say, in my daycare, everyone is vaccinated. Not that we say that it's mandatory, but everyone is vaccinated. In the active senior center, I would say that most people are vaccinated, but we don't ask because it is an active senior center. We don't have medical information on them. The majority of people are wearing masks and following the CDC recommendations. Some of the groups are smaller groups in the active senior center. You have some that do arts and crafts, some that do trivia or games, and some that do, their own little groups, some that go on the lunch bunch and the field trips that they do. But they're following, as requested, the CDC recommendations. We haven't had any issues here since we reopened. Of course, we have hand sanitizer and of course signs everywhere, just reminding people to follow the protocol.
I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know if people are washing their hands so well as they used to. I try to. When I come out, I wash my hands. I've really been good about that. I'm not wearing a mask unless I feel the organization I'm going to, needs it. But when I go to certain kinds of senior living places, they take your temperature.
Right.
Some people wear masks. So I think we all have to do what we're doing. Of course, with the new variant coming in, we have to be extra careful too, even though we've been vaccinated, right?
There's some people who can't be vaccinated or who choose not to be vaccinated. I find the majority of seniors, I would say, are vaccinated, but then you have, the younger populations, which are, of course, making their own choices for their own reasons. But I think we find a lot of people that aren't vaccinating in South Florida, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, well, the worst thing is I always say to someone, just go to the hospital and see what it's like when you get COVID. If you would do that, you wouldn't be casual about it. But you're right. I have some people, I have a relative and her daughter will not get vaccinated. And my relative says, I can't do anything about it. So she said, whatever it is. But, but she's vaccinated now. So I guess that's good enough. And then the one thing that we talked about also was volunteers. So, of course, we've always tried to help the Volen Center get volunteers in our advertising for them, whatever we did, because they can't possibly afford enough staff to take care of everybody who goes there. And volunteers add something different. It isn't just the fact they're helpful. They're happy. They're glad to be there. It's a whole different environment, right, Kim?
Absolutely. And it's always nice when you have volunteers that come in and offer something different than the same faces that everyone sees every day. Offer a new story or a new reminisce or something, especially in the daycares. Everyone has something different to offer. And it's always nice to have someone new at the facilities just to share.
Yeah. My guest is Kim Lovito. How long have you been with the Volen Center now? I forget what you told me before. A long time, but I don't know.
I've been with the Volen Center for 4 years, almost 4 years here.
Okay. Seems like it's forever, though. I don't remember it without you. She is the director of the adult daycare center there. So they do have a daycare center. And I want to dwell on that a little bit because there are people who worry about what are they going to do? Their parent or their loved one's getting older. They have to go to work. What should they do? Well, they think, we have to go put them into a senior living community, or what are we going to do? Well, the answer is the adult daycare. I have to tell you, I've had such experience with things like that. I've known people, and actually I actually knew an older son, who would take his mother to an adult daycare center, go to work, come back, take care of her, and she never had to go anywhere else, which was great for her.
It's all about aging in place. I don't think that people realize that there is this option for them. If you have a loved one, a spouse, or a parent, or an aunt, or an uncle, or someone that needs to be in a safe, secure place when you're not home, the Volen Center is it. There's no need at this point to place that loved one in a facility. Often they decline once they are placed in a facility, and here they flourish. We have activities all day long. They make friends. They create relationships with others. Often they're sitting in front of a TV for days at a time. That does nothing for them. And here it makes them active all day long, and then they can go home and enjoy their family.
I have always said, and I hope that other senior centers don't get mad at me, but I always see the Volen Center as the best senior center in South Florida. I know it very well.
That's because we are.
I know. That's true. And I know it. It isn't just some, propaganda, because I've been there. I was there early years. I know the history of it, and it is glorious. It's one of the most beautiful centers. This isn't just a shopping center, just a little space. It is really good. So I have to commend you, Kim. I'm so glad they found you. But I want to go back to being in the daycare center. Tell me some of the activities that you do there, or maybe it's the same for the people that go there anyway. What can someone expect?
For the adult daycare centers, we start the mornings, of course, with breakfast. We are a congregate meal site, so breakfast is included. People come in at different times of the morning, and they usually get in their little cliques and have sort of like a coffee clutch in the morning, chit chat, go over current events, finish up breakfast, and then we have a morning celebration where we either start off with exercise or sing along or something that is, we program it. Every day is different. then we usually separate into groups, and it depends on the center. And we always separate based on cognitive ability or impairment. You do no benefit for anyone that comes to the center if they're with someone that can't hold a conversation, or with someone who has an impairment and can't follow along with a higher level of things. So we make sure that everyone is at the right level. We have pet therapy, we have arts and crafts, of course, exercise, live entertainment. We have theme parties, gardening, nature walks. Again, then we'll do lunch. We have reminisce and memory classes. We do a lot of things related to music. We do lots of sing-alongs. We do karaoke. We just have a good time. I say everyone should come by and see us. Anyone can tour any facility. Bring the person that you think may benefit. I love to have people come in. And even when you have someone who's at the center, I always love when caregivers come and participate. Come participate in our parties. You'll have a great time.
Right. You're so true. I love that you said that. Look, you don't have to make an appointment. Stop in.
No.
But try
right.
to bring
Stop
some stuff. Some of you have extra wheelchairs. You have extra walkers. You have a lot of things. Maybe the toilets, raised toilet seats. Whatever you have, bring it, because they can always use that too. So you don't have to call these other places to pick them up. Bring it there. Say hello. If you can go to the front desk, she's always so nice at the front desk. But if you are lucky and Kim's there and you ask for Kim, she'll come out with her beautiful smile and she knows what's going on. Kim, as a nurse, nurses have different lives, but your nurse capacity is really special there. I mean, you see things and you're part of something that you were not a part of when you were working in a hospital, were you?
No, I never had an experience like this. I've been a nurse for 28 years. So the last 4 years have really, really been, it's part of me now.
Right.
This place is very, very important, and staff very important, and everyone that comes here is very important.
I'll bet you even have people who are 100 years old who come there.
I do. And we have birthday parties.
Well, you see, years ago, I guess it was under Lyndon Johnson, when they had this whole program where they were going to really do things, Medicare, seniors. People didn't really understand that, and people didn't want to be a senior. I don't want to be an old senior. Everyone thought they were going to die at 65, 67. That was the schedule. But of course, now we know people are in their 90s and older. And senior centers have taken on a very different look, because if you live alone, you could actually go to a center for 5 days a week, be happy, go home at night, then come back to the center. And on the weekend, make other arrangements. Do you do anything on the weekend, Kim?
We have the nurse registry that we do private home care. So often when I do have those who are attending the adult daycare during the week, they're also we provide at-home care on the weekend, so that, they can have assistance, maybe showering and preparing meals if they need all of that at home.
Well, let's go over that meal situation. I'm glad you brought that up, because when you pack up meals, you say you pack them up for a whole week. How does that work? Why do they stay? I mean, how can you have something for a whole week? Do they stay fresh?
So the restaurant quality meals are prepared in a catering kitchen. They're inside the box of meals. There is a list on how the food should be eaten. And so day one, so you eat that on day one. And so they make sure that they're temped correctly. Some of the food, I want to say there's 7 hot meals and 7 meals like oatmeal or cereal. And of course, there's fresh fruit and milk, and you refrigerate them. Some people freeze them, but there is a paper inside each box that tells you what meal to eat first.
Wow.
So they really have to down.
And how much do they pay for that?
Nothing.
I wanted you to say that. So they get these meals and they don't pay anything, and they're delivered too, aren't they?
And they are delivered. Anyone over 60 through the Older Americans Act can call in and they can get put on the list to get the meals delivered.
Over 60, it isn't 65.
Correct, over 60.
Well, that takes in a lot of people who are still working.
Correct.
So do they have to show a need? I mean, what do they have to show you to get those meals?
They will just have to do a little 2-page assessment, just asking about their nutritional history, basically, you know, how many servings of milk they get a day, how many servings of fruits, vegetables, if they take medications. It's about a 10-minute little survey that they do on the phone, and then they're added to the list.
And do all senior centers have the same thing? I mean, I keep applauding, yay, the Volen Center, but do other senior centers have what you have?
So I'm sure a lot of senior centers have activities, but as far as our case management and our programs department, the Volen Center is the lead provider in South Palm Beach County. So we're the lead provider for the Area Agency on Aging. So when someone reaches out to the area agency and is added, it's priority based, it's not income based, and they are given a score and a rank. And once they come off that list, they receive a case manager from us if they're in our service area. The case manager will give them a call during they were doing assessment to see what the needs are of that person. Meals, medical supplies, a stipend for a caregiver, adult daycare, home care. And so they write up the care plan, and then often it's funded. It can be funded by government programs or community programs like Community Care for the Elderly, Alzheimer's Disease Initiative, Home Care for the Elderly. So that's us being the lead provider in Palm Beach County. That's how we're different. We have meal sites throughout South Palm Beach County. So some people go to different areas, like for instance, Boynton Beach Senior Center or Pompey Park. They do have a drive-through where they can go pick up the food as long as they've had that meal assessment and they're on their list. They can go ahead and pick up from there.
But it's Palm Beach County, and that of course starts with Boca. How far up do you go?
We go to, as far as transportation, south of Hypoluxo.
Okay. But let's say somebody lives in Lake Worth and they want meals.
They would have to go through the North Palm Beach, which would be Doss. They would have to go through someone up there. It's kind of like our sister center, not related to the Volen Center, but they provide up there.
Mm-hmm. And do all of them have the daycare centers like you do in addition to the regular center?
I know there are some daycare centers, but not like the Volen Center. This is like an all-inclusive resort.
That's true.
The other centers aren't quite like us.
And so you did kind of talk about some people who are not as sharp, let's use the word, as sharp as others, and you try to keep them in their own group. So do you have programs for people who have some memory, that are a little memory disabled, and they still enjoy what they do because you're very caring about that, right?
So there's different types of impairments that people have when they have Alzheimer's or dementia-related disorders, and even those who say possibly had a stroke or some other impairment. So we gear programming towards people that are alike so that they can communicate and enjoy things together. So someone who needs more assistance would say, go to our Del Rey location. There's more assistance there, smaller groups. The activities are geared specifically to those levels of cognition or impairment. Here at East Boca or at West Boca, you have some people who have aphasia and can't maybe speak and have trouble communicating. So we work in smaller groups with those people and use cards maybe that show, because they are still cognitive of what they're trying to express, they just can't express it. So maybe if they can point to yes, or point to no, or point to left, or point to right, that works better for them.
So that's why when we started, we were talking about volunteers. even though a lot of volunteers don't have to be fully responsible for some of these things, they can assist people, like Kim. So volunteers,
Sure.
I will tell you this, I know retired people who the biggest thing they talk about is where they went to lunch or dinner or played cards or something. And I hate to, you're entitled to what you want to do, but for me, at least part of your week should be volunteering. You should do something that when you get home, you feel happy you've done it. You've made a difference in someone's life. So
Absolutely.
please call Kim.
561-395-8920.
Oh, 89395. Okay, that's 561-395-8920. Right. Okay, 561-395-8920. But the other thing you can do though is go on the web, which is volencenter.com. Volencenter.com, because you'll see so many things there. It's hard to talk about all this, but they are unique. We're very happy and very fortunate to have this in Boca Raton. I mean, I live in Boynton Beach. I guess, Kim, do you live down in Broward, or where do you live?
I live in downtown Delray.
Oh, okay. So people in Palm Beach County are so lucky to have the Volen Center. I think that retirees should live as close to the Volen Center as they can, or at least stay in Palm Beach County, South Palm Beach County, so that this is available for them. There is a lot of entertainment. And I went there one day and people were dancing. I thought that was great. You had moved the music of the old, the old kind of music, and that's so good for them.
Oh, yes. So the dance floor has been packed. So if you're volunteering, I mean, who wouldn't want to volunteer to come have lunch and dance your afternoon away?
And so volunteers get the lunch also?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as they're 60 and over. I mean, we
Okay.
don't turn anybody away. There's always a bit left over. So yes, anybody can eat the lunch.
Okay, so you can go there and, if you're here and you have a grandchild visiting, take your grandchild with you. Let a young person see how they can help, because I'm sure that they will help. And older people love grandchildren types. They don't get enough of it.
And some of the younger folks can help people in our computer lab to work on the computers or teach them how to work their iPhones. Perfect.
Well, I've been talking with Kim Lovito from the Volen Center. I'll show you what their ad looks like. It's been I'm so happy always to talk to Kim. I love the Volen Center. I talk about it all the time. I'm going to do something, I think, on YouTube. Well, this will go on YouTube, but also in social media. And just know that this is why we do these Zoomer Time shows. So you can see someone who's beautiful and talented as Kim and also hear about it. Kim, thank you very much. I know you have a busy schedule and always appreciate talking to you. And I will see you one day. I really promise.
Okay. It was so nice seeing you, Anita. Thank you.
Right. Bye.
Bye-bye.